dear students. Today's lecture is about Henry VIII, who is a very famous English king who ruled England from 1509 to 1547. He has a very important role in the history of England and history of Europe in general, and his crucial influence on the Christianity and the authority of the church in general. I decided to give you this short introduction to know the age in which the prehistory of William Shakespeare, the age in which, how the age of Shakespeare was performed, and this is important to know all the circumstances that led to the Elizabethan age and how they reached the peak during the Elizabethan era. So, Henry VIII, as I mentioned, is a very famous English king who ruled England from 1509 to 1547. What was his problem? When many films have been adapted on TV, his main problem, it's not a problem, his interest, he has his own rights. He wanted a male child to follow him as a king. And this is his own right to have a male child. But unfortunately, he hadn't. First thing, he married six women, and just to get a male child, but he didn't. He is a dictator, in fact. You know a dictator? Dictator. Really. His first wife was Catherine of Aragon. At the beginning, he married Catherine of Aragon, and she gave birth to a female child. You know the meaning of give birth? Give birth? Give birth? What's the meaning of give birth? What's the meaning of birth? Give birth. Yuli. She gave birth, and Catherine of Aragon gave birth to a female child. Second, she gave birth to a male child called Howard. But Howard was born sick, and because of the circumstances of delivery, I know delivery is this mean, deliver, but when a pregnant woman, no, this is right. Well, it's like give birth. The moment of delivery, she suffered hardship, and this caused sickness of Howard. He was not convinced with Howard to follow him, take his throne, to be the king of England. Third, also gave birth to a female child. What did he do then? He decided to divorce Catherine of Aragon and marry another woman. You know, in Christianity, it's not allowed to marry two or more than one woman at the same time. You know this? المسيحية ما ممكن تتزوج أكثر من زوجة في نفس الوقت. In contrast with Islamic religion, which allows you to have maximum 4 wives at the same time. This could be disturbing for ladies, right? And he applied a request to the Pope of Rome. You know, at that time, Rome was the capital of Christianity in Italy. Rome كانت هي عاصمة المسيحية. She has the supremacy, the power over all the kingdoms of Europe and all the kingdoms, Christian kingdoms. Even the king has no power over the church. He applied a request to the Pope of Rome. Henry قدم طلب Henry to the Pope of Rome to annul his marriage. What's the meaning of annul? annul. يعني يفسخ عقد زواج. يفسخ عقد. Annul. To annul his marriage from Catherine of Aragon. But the Pope of Rome rejected. He refused to do Henry's request. After more than once, he sent a request for the Pope to annul his marriage from Catherine of Aragon. The Pope of Rome refused. What did Henry VIII do? He also refused the Pope of Rome. He says, you and your church do not consent. He is a dictator. أنت وكنيستك والحائط. And this is, of course, was a very big action. Because at that time, church has the power next to God, power of God, the power of heaven. كانت الكنيسة من بعد رب العالمين لحد هذا القرن السادس عشر اللي هي صارت في break of the Christian authority. He challenged the Pope of Rome. He says, I will not follow your rules. I am the King of England. And England is the heart of Europe. I am greater than you. He collected some of his clergymen, جمع شوية من حاشيته رجال الدين. شافوا له طريقة شرعية between two brackets حتى to annul his marriage from Catherine of Aragon. طبعا Henry VIII's action in rejecting to follow Pope of Rome's decision was regarded as the first break in the authority of church. يعني هي من هذا الحدث بدت هيبة الكنيسة انكسرت. بعد الملك بعد doesn't follow the rules of the church. الشعب شو يسوي بعد؟ He has the right. I mean, the people have the right to also not to follow the rules of. There started a new, very famous period in the English history called Reformation. 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 What's the meaning of Reformation? Yes? Reformation in the 16th century. If you'd like to make a search on this Reformation, it's a very important period in the English history. Because of the break of the Christian rules, Christian Church of Rome, this period started. This period, Reformation, to reform. They put in new rules. They put in new ideas based on not blindly following the rules of the church. قالوا مو عمياويين يتبعون قواعد الكنيسة، يعني قالوا عادي it's okay to break the rule of the church. مرحلة سموها Reformation. This is a very big area of knowledge would like to make researches for you. So he annulled Catherine of Aragon and married a new wife, a new woman, called who's his second wife, Anne Boleyn. Good morning, hello, sir. Excuse me. His second wife is Anne Boleyn. And Anne Boleyn is very pleasant, in fact, lovely woman. She really loved Henry VIII. At the beginning, she gave, well, the same problem remained with Henry VIII. She gave birth to a female child called Elizabeth. Elizabeth is the daughter of Anne Boleyn and Henry VIII. Second also gave birth to a child, a female child. Third, it is said that there was a plot, you know, plot Muhammad, about Anne Boleyn, that she was accused of committing adultery with the poet Earl of Surrey. What's the meaning of adultery? Adultery. Okay, check its meaning. She was accused of committing adultery with the poet's Earl of Surrey. شاعر اسمه Earl of Surrey. كانت متهمة committing adultery with Earl of Surrey. And that led to the execution of Anne Boleyn. She was beheaded. Is the meaning of beheaded? Behead. Behead. She was beheaded in front of the people because she was the wife of the king, and she commits adultery. It was regarded as a big disgrace. It was a big shame to have. But she was, in fact, she was a victim. She did not really commit adultery. Many writers says she was honest, she was innocent. She was a victim of plot done by Jane Seymour. Third, Jane Seymour. This playful character, she planned for the plots of Anne Boleyn and Earl of Surrey. Earl of Surrey was also beheaded. Both of them were beheaded. Jane Seymour also wanted to marry Henry VIII. So she has woven the plot against Anne Boleyn and convinced the king that she committed adultery with Earl of Surrey. Elizabeth was about 2 years old when her mother was beheaded. She grew up as an orphan child. Jane Seymour, his third wife of Henry VIII. Also, the same thing happens with Jane Seymour. She gave birth to a female child. First, second, third, females. This is in fact common instinct that people, even the women, the mother would like first child to be a male. Do you agree? This is a common instinct in people. When they get married, would like to have a male child. Even the mother, even the woman, not only the father. Right? بشكل عام يتمنون to have a male child. Right or wrong? Do you think that women is better, man is better than women, or the opposites? Opposite. Relativity matter. Let's see. There are many women who equal thousands of men. And this is, we will see in Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth, how she ruled England in an arm of iron that flourished England. Okay, she also gave birth to female children, and he decided to divorce her and marry another woman called, who is fourth wife, Anne of Cleves. Anne of the Cleves. He married his fourth wife, who's called Anne of Cleves. The same thing repeats. Also, she gave birth to female children. Science recently discovered that the reason is in the man. The chromosomes that carry the male gender are found in the man, not the woman. اكتشف العلم الحديث ان الكروموسومات المسؤولة عن إنتاج الذكور موجودة بالرجل it was the reason was the man for deciding male or females. But at that time, Henry VIII did not know. So that's why he repeated his other victims. Also the same thing, women. His fifth, she was also executed. Anne of Cleves. His fifth victim, Lahita Thamsa, was Catherine Catherine Howard. Howard was a very stiff dictator king, I mentioned. So when he says a word, all of the people must do it. Catherine Howard, as expected, also gave birth to female children. But yeah, I do sympathize with Mr. Henry VIII. His dream was to get a boy, but his dream was not achieved, because all of the women he married, they gave him girls, except Catherine of Aragon. But I mentioned that Catherine of Aragon's son was born sick and was not qualified enough to be the king of England. After that, he ruled England for 11 years, but he wasn't a good king. Okay, he also divorced Catherine of Howard, and his last victim is Catherine Parr. Catherine Parr, P-A-R-R. Catherine Parr was a widow, already married. You know widow? Widow. So, the same thing happened with him. But Catherine Parr, at that time, this I think at the end of his reign, نهاية حكمه, he married Catherine Parr, so he was very old. And Catherine Parr was responsible for ruling of England. She developed England, and she developed the industry of England at that time. She helped him very much in the kingdom affairs. ساعدته هواي بشؤون الحكم but didn't give him a birth of a boy. Anyhow, in 1547, Henry VIII died. He died. After him ruled his sick son, Howard, son of Catherine of Aragon, and in 1558 ruled his most famous daughter, Elizabeth. So Elizabeth ruled England Queen Elizabeth ruled from 1558, I think, yes, to 1603. Almost 45 years. Very long period of time, right? Some writers say if Henry VIII knew that he had a daughter who is better than 1,000 men, he would not do all of this. لو كان يدري عنده هيك بنية اسمها إليزابيث راح تعمر 45 سنة وطبلة من حديد وإنجلترا would be a great nation, لكن ما سوى كل هذا اللي سواه. And this is an example of how a woman is better than a man. Ready? Queen Elizabeth ruled England from 1558 to 1603. It was called the Golden Age. Her kingdom was called, her reign was called the Golden Age. This is a very important period in the history of England. It was called the Golden Age. What's the meaning of Golden Age? It was the age of Queen Elizabeth, because due to the flourish, to the developments in all the fields of life during Queen Elizabeth's reign, in industry, in trade, and army traditions, and everything. England during the rule of Queen Elizabeth developed greatly. It's that she defeated the very strong, famous Spanish Armada. The Spanish Armada. What's the meaning of Armada? Armada. Sport. During her reign, she defeated the very, very famous and strong Spanish Armada. كان الأسطول الأسباني جدا قوي محلي. But during Queen Elizabeth, the English army defeated the Spanish Armada and ruled many of the European countries. England since then became the heart of Europe, and England is still the heart of Europe. فكرة إنجلترا هي قلب أوروبا، جزء من النابض. Cannot imagine Europe without England. Cannot imagine Europe without England. So during this age appeared our friend who? William Shakespeare. During Queen Elizabeth, born William Shakespeare. When was he born? Which year? In 1564, I think. 64, and died in 1612. Aging about 50 years. And this is the age of Queen Elizabeth. If William Shakespeare was not born, if he were not born during the Elizabethan age, he could be another man, not Shakespeare, as today we know. The circumstances in which William Shakespeare was born are very encouraging for writers, dramatists to get fame and to get money. Because Queen Elizabeth encouraged people she was interested in literature, in music, in theaters, and art in general. كانت مهتمة بهيك مسائل يعني بالمسرح والشعر والموسيقى. That's why, and those people who do good works, they will be given money for that. يعني كانت مسألة تشجيعية، اللي يكتب أفضل يطلب فلوس أكثر. She built many theaters. بنت هواي مسارح. Many musical buildings. And that's why there are many writers, not even Shakespeare, but the fame of Shakespeare pervades the other writers. We have Ben Jonson, Christopher Marlowe, John Lilly, and Robert Greene. All of them are very famous playwrighs. كلهم دول ناس مشهورين بس سمعة Shakespeare pervades all the other writers. Okay, so William Shakespeare wrote 3 kinds of drama. What are they? He wrote 3 kinds of drama. What are they? Didn't you study? I asked you to prepare Shakespearean drama. No? No what? You didn't find it, or you didn't study it at all? You didn't study? Why? It's important. He wrote 3 kinds of drama. Okay, how many kinds of drama we have? Not Shakespeare. I'm not asking about drama. How many dramas we have? Yes? Yes, 3. What are they? Not drama. There are 3 kinds of drama Shakespeare wrote. In fact, since the time of Shakespeare, they were called. Yes? What? In heaven? No. He wrote histories. History drama. It's called history drama. Drama تاريخية. It depicts historical events in a dramatic way. Second, he wrote comedy. Third,
Roman.
No, tragedy. Tragedy. And some writers say he also wrote romantic comedy. Romantic comedy and tragic comedy. But here, these are the main three. In fact, there are other. And he wrote tragicomedy, he wrote romantic comedy also. يعني كتب أيضا بعد عندنا romantic comedy, tragic comedy, Romeo and Juliet, called tragic comedy. Romantic comedy كتبها 12 Nights. Next year you will take it. المرحلة الثانية حتعطوه. 12 Nights تعتبر romantic comedy. It links between romance and comedy, and love theme and comedy. But these are main three. There are subdivisions for the dramas he wrote. He wrote history, comedy, and tragedy. Our play is what? The play you are going to take. يعني راح ناخذ المسرحية. I told you before. What is it? Yes. What is the play? Macbeth. You know? Macbeth. I told you. Macbeth is a play that we are going to study. Which of these three kinds of drama Macbeth belongs? دائما تنظري تحت أي نوع هذه مسرحية Macbeth. Have you ever heard about this play? سامعين فيها هذه المسرحية؟ Macbeth. Macbeth is the shortest play William Shakespeare wrote during his life. The shortest play. Though it is short, but it's very rich in deep meaning and in the manipulations that he tackled in the play. It belongs to tragedy. This play is a tragic play, which talks about King Macbeth. He's in fact not a king at the beginning of the play, but he later on usurped the kingdom from King Duncan and became the unrighteous king of Scotland. Anyone knows about Macbeth? Also, there are they adapted it to a film and showed it on TV. صحيح كانت جدا مشهورة. So I may ask you a question. Why William Shakespeare was so famous rather than other writers, rather than other playwrights? There are many other playwrights, but why this fame, this reputation of William Shakespeare? إيش الشهرة هذه? What's the reason? Ben Jonson كتب almost 40. How many plays Shakespeare wrote? Yes? Yes? Yes, 37. That's right. 37 plays is his collection of drama. And 37 plays is a very big number. You do not have the ability, anyone can write 37 plays. This richness of dramatic influence. Ben Jonson wrote almost about 40 plays and hundreds of essays, hundreds of criticisms. Ben Jonson أيضا كان جدا مشهور أيضا very famous playwright Ben Jonson اسمه Ben Jonson. But Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe is a very famous also Shakespearean contemporary that also achieved certain kind of fame, but he unfortunately died very young. Why? Can you guess why Shakespeare got this reputation rather than other writers? ليش الشهرة ايش كتبوا بعد. Of course the reason is in his writings, right? It's not a matter of منطقيا. The reason is in his plays, in his writings. The themes that Shakespeare wrote are eternal. They last as long as humanity is. يعني المواضيع كتب بيها كانت with the continuation of life. Wherever there is life, we need the themes Shakespeare wrote. For example, he wrote about love, death, visitation, man's instinct in power, man's quest for power, يعني مسعى الإنسان للسلطة. These are common phenomena of humankind. هذه تستمر ما دام في إنسان بشر عايشين، لأن هذه غرائز موجودة بينا. So whenever we read Shakespeare, we feel that he is near to our life, because the themes he tackled are eternal. They continue with the continuation of humanity. This is the main reason for his fame, for his reputation. Yeah? So we will find in Macbeth man's power to go beyond his limits, man's power to who is ready to kill, to fight, to take the throne, to take the chair. What's the meaning of throne? Throne, T-H-R-O-N-E. Arsh. Arsh. He is a very courageous soldier, a Scottish soldier, but his courage pushes him to go far. That led him to kill the king and be the king of Scotland, but in the right way. In a wrong way, sorry. And later on, I will. This is your homework for the next lecture, to prepare Macbeth. But what I'm saying is that we are still talking about the themes Shakespeare wrote. We mentioned that they continue as long as human beings are living. Really, you will find how he tackled the themes he tackled are present. You can feel them in our present day. Any question, please? About people?